Very few Hollywood leading men were as busy and successful as Ben Stiller. His nearly 36 films have taken in $5 billion at the box office worldwide. And this weekend, he's looking to add another movie to his hit list, leading an all-star cast in the new action comedy Tower Heist. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us this morning, Ben Stiller.
Good
Ben,
morning.
good to have you. Did you get a plaque for that $5 billion mark?
You know, if you make enough movies, just the law of averages.
You're just going to get there.
It's volume.
That is, I mean, on a serious note, to be able to kind of wrap your head around that $5 billion, that's a lot of box office.
Yeah, I don't really have a connection to it that way, because I feel like that doesn't really even connect with what the movies are themselves.
Do you look back, because you are, I mean, now with the body of work, like you mentioned, you do movies. Old. Really aging, not very gracefully. But no, you've got so many movies that are kind of trademark movies that are quotable movies, from like a Zoolander to a Meet the Parents. To, I mean, the list goes, Something About Mary. There's just so many trademark moments in movies that you've been in. Do any of them stand out to you, or you have a favorite? Yeah,
well, at the end of the day, all you really have is the experience of making the movie, because the movie exists. I mean, it's great to have people appreciate the movies or quote them back to you, and the ones that hang around, like Zoolander or something like that, because Zoolander was one that nobody really went to see when we first made it. So it's nice, 10, 11 years later, that people are still into it. But, all you really have is the experience of making the movie when you're doing it. So you remember the fun of making it, or the not fun sometimes.
Yeah. Did you know, and I've read that you don't find yourself to be as funny a guy as you're portrayed on the big screen at times. Did you think at some point during your career, at the early stages, well, maybe comedy's really not for me? I mean, I really would prefer going.
I never really,
serious.
when I was younger, I didn't really want to go into comedy. My parents are in comedy. They're kind of comedy
You'd think
legends.
It'd be funny for that reason alone.
Well, but that was a lot of pressure, a lot to live up to. And as a kid, I just loved movies, and I loved making movies, making little home movies, and I wanted to be a director. That's always what I've enjoyed the most. So the comedy, then when I was about, I guess like 18 or 19, I started to see SCTV and Saturday Night Live and comedy that I could connect to, and then it sort of went that way. But you're only as funny as the situation that you're in, and the script and the movie is.
Well, the movies that you've been in obviously some very funny situations. You mentioned Zoolander before. Sequel, is that something we can expect?
We've been working on it. We have a script, and we really want to do it, and we're just, it's just a matter of getting everything together. But I hope we can do it. Hopefully soon.
Obviously, Derek will be back. Mugatu, you got to bring him back, right?
Yes, Mugatu, will have been in jail for a long time, so I think he might have a Cape Fear sort of.
Your wife, your dad. This is a family affair. Let's talk about the new movie Tower Heist right now. Like we mentioned a second ago, it's a star-studded cast. Let's take a look at a clip real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll talk.
We've been casing the place for over a decade. We just didn't know it.
We didn't know it because we weren't doing it.
Come on, man. I need you.
Yeah, you need me because you got these idiots.
You think we're getting our money back? You think Lester's getting his money? I talked to the FBI. It's gone.
So all this is about getting it back for Lester?
Yes, and Rose and Miss Yavenko and Manuel and you jerk. Come on. Let's storm the castle together.
Oh, like when they went after Frankenstein.
No, it's a different kind of storming. It's a storming where the peasants take everything back, from like the feudal lords and...
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in.
Now we're undefeatable. The rest of the line, Casey Affleck, who we talked with, and also Matthew Broderick, who we talked with as well. Your thoughts on this cast? Eddie Murphy, who not seen there, but is a big star in this one as well.
No, it's an incredible cast. And just, Eddie obviously is iconic, and it was very exciting to work with him. And Matthew Broderick and Casey and Gabourey and Alan Alda, Michael Pena, Téa Leoni, just an incredible group.
You're a New Yorker now, obviously, again, Los Angeles, New York, back and forth, but you grew up here. Nice to be able to film here in the area as well.
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, New York is, having grown up here and making the movies on the street as a kid, and then doing it for real and getting to do it on a big scale when they shut down Columbus Circle, which was really exciting.
Stage the parade, or was it the real thing?
A combination, but they brought in the Snoopy float for a special day of shooting, which was great.
How's Eddie Murphy to work with?
He's amazing. Obviously, he's a guy who, he's just in our consciousness, and he's, the comedies he's made over the years are so iconic. But when you're across from him and you're feeling that energy, I felt a lot of the time I was watching Eddie Murphy in a movie, like in the front row. His energy is so strong, he's so focused, and he's so funny. He's amazing.
No, I've seen it. It's great. And Ben, thanks so much for coming here this morning. We
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
it. Good to see you. Tower Heist opens in theaters tomorrow. Now here's Rebecca.